Presenting to you Green Tea with Zakki, a chit-chat with some of SmartQ's most celebrated people who have explored, evolved and emerged into leaders, influencers and champions in their roles. I am excited to play host with such extraordinary people who have done everything they can to build a name for themselves at SmartQ and also build SmartQ in the process. Stay tuned for Green Tea with Zakki and follow us on this evergreen journey with the extraordinary people of SmartQ. She was assumed to be a spy of a competitor's company when she first interviewed at SmartQ. But after a few interview rounds, it was quite clear and evident that she was actually very serious about joining the world of food and technology with SmartQ. From then to now, she has grown leaps and bounds, playing multiple roles across and within departments. She is none other than the supremely talented Varsha Karmakar, who transitioned from a degree in psychology to a career in foodology. For lack of better words, that's the only thing that rhymes with psychology and is food related. On that note, welcome Varsha to the 6th episode of Green Tea with Zakki. It's a pleasure and honor to have you on the set. And from what I've been told from your friends and close-knit community at SmartQ, that you are one individual who pours her heart out when asked questions about her job or about her personal life. So I would love to hear your unfiltered self on today's episode with us. So thank you again for taking time out and doing this with us.
Thank you so much, Zakki.
Yeah. Pleasure to have you. So we will get started with the first round. So how this is going to work is there'll be 3 rounds or 3 segments is what we call it. The first segment is just to understand your journey at SmartQ, your growth and success story.
Okay.
The second segment is called Ask Me Anything, which is going to be a couple of fun questions just to know who Varsha is on the lighter side. And the third segment is even a surprise to me. So we'll find out as we proceed on this episode. So let's get started then, Varsha. Are you excited?
Yeah.
How do you feel to be a part of the set?
I'm very excited. It's very overwhelming because, as I was telling you just at the beginning of the show, that you manifest something, and I have been watching Coffee with Karan. I actually feel like a Coffee with Karan show happening right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Green Tea with Zakki of SmartQ, and yeah, I'm pretty excited. And what's actually exciting me are the questions that's going to come up from people.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the whole excitement of Green Tea with Zakki, to get these questions curated, especially for the guest we have on our set. And that's when we know the person individually beyond work. So we are as excited as well. I'm sure the audience is as well. So round of applause for Varsha before we begin the first segment.
Thank you so much.
Cool. So we'll get started with the first segment.
Okay.
And here's your first question. So you joined SmartQ in 2020 and you're about to complete 3 years in this organization. So congratulations firstly on that.
Thank you.
What I would like to know is, how did it all start and how has your journey been so far? I do understand that there was some LinkedIn messages sent to the leadership team, and those messages led to one thing and another, and you were thought to be a spy. So run us through how from a spy to a super success at SmartQ.
Yeah. So it was around in the month of January, January 2020,
Right.
where I was thinking to have a switch from my previous organization. It was called, am I supposed to name that?
You could.
Okay, so I was working as an operations relationship manager over there, handling the food with the vendors, with the clients and stuff like that. And then I thought that there's more to this industry, and there are a lot of things that I need to learn.
Right.
So I started reaching out to a lot of LinkedIn connections, not specifically food industry, but then again something definitely in operations.
Got it.
Then I did hear about Next Step. So back then in 2020, I wasn't clear that Next Step, SmartQ, they've already merged and it's one entity right now. So Hardik, Keshav, Rakesh, Shubhayan, Nivedan, these were the people whom they were already there present in my LinkedIn.
Right.
Me being a very LinkedIn person, trying to connect with people and getting to know more about their work, the company and all of that. So I reached out to these people. So it was Hardik who had actually responded back immediately. He's very pro and very swift in all. Yeah, he's very swift in all of these. So I responded back, and then an interview was scheduled. I was called in the SmartQ office, which is there in Cunningham Road.
Right.
Yeah, our previous office.
Yeah.
Okay. Afternoon, I had reached over there. So I didn't know that there was one book like one leaf pamphlet kind of a thing where all the founders were there and their photos and details about them were written.
Got it.
And then the interview was with Rakesh and Hardik. It was a 2.5 hours interview.
Wow, 2.5 hours.
Yes.
What was spoken in that interview?
Anything and everything.
Okay.
They asked me everything. I was so clueless. I was like, some of the answers I had made up on spot. I didn't know. I was just learning about certain things in operations.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, they asked me, they kept on asking me, and they grilled me actually. They had given me some food costing to be done, production planning to be done on my interview day. And okay, after 2.5 hours interview, then there was I did get a good and positive feedback, like with the conversations you understand, right? So after that, there was a second round of interview that was scheduled by Keshav and Hardik. That again had gone up to like 1.5 hours.
Wow.
They asked me again a lot of questions in that interview. There was a third round of interview to which Sheetal had called me. Varsha, there's a third round that's required and you have to come for it. And I'm like, you tell me if I'm getting it or not, or else I'm not coming anymore.
Like you're
because
taking
I
me-
used to stay in HSR, and from HSR to Cunningham Road, I used to travel like 1.5 hours, and so much of traveling. And I don't know, it's like people are just interviewing me, and now it's like all virtual.
True.
So that was it. The third round of interview was with Shubhayan.
Okay. Which was for another couple of hours? Or?
It was 1 hour.
1 hour.
Thank God.
Nice.
So yeah, after these 3 rounds of interviews, I actually got selected for SmartQ as an operations manager, a relationship manager in operations. So I joined SmartQ on 17th of February 2020. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just enjoying that period, going to various clients' places, getting to know the work that I would have to do. And then there was this lockdown.
Yeah. So on that note, let me just pause and also relate my journey with yours.
Okay.
Like you said, you had a LinkedIn message sent to Hardik.
Yes.
I had a LinkedIn message sent to Keshav.
Okay.
And that's an overlap. And how Hardik got back to you, Keshav got back to me.
Okay.
And I had those rounds of conversations, which was again like 2-3 hours, both with Keshav and Bhaskar. And those were conversations that basically, I guess the SmartQ team likes to have to get to know the person.
Exactly.
And see what could be the fit there. So that's an overlap. Speaking of which, where you just spoke and touched upon the lockdown,
Yes.
is what brings me to what has your journey been like so far from the point of view that there was a massive lockdown soon after you joined in March sometime. And then, if I'm right, you got a phone call from Shubhayan and then also another phone call from Keshav.
Yes.
So, can you tell us about what happened in these phone calls and how that transitioned to different role at SmartQ?
So, during this lockdown, the operations revenue had, complete, because all the companies were getting closed and there were employees who were working from home, and operations revenue had almost ceased coming in. So there were a couple of NGO orders that we were getting from Ola and then from Compass also.
Right.
My house being near to the kitchen from where we were doing the order, Ara kitchen, so it was like around a 2.5 kilometer distance from my place.
Got it.
And obviously during lockdown, the roads were seized, there were police everywhere, and your movement was restricted. We got some kind of movement pass that Manju had issued for us, so that we can go to the kitchen and nobody stops us midway. So we used to go to the kitchen and all of these things. So operations ka, like, little here and there, things were happening.
Something
something was happening.
To stay afloat, some stuff. Yeah,
so it went on like good for 2-3 months, and then there was a little ease and people started getting back to their places. So we were serving these NGO meals to the people who got stuck in Bangalore and couldn't return home. They were into some tents, some kind of building closed, and they cannot go back home. So we were doing meals for them, for the poor people also.
Right.
So then again, these people went back home, and again our operations paused for a while. So Shubhayan had asked me not to tell this on camera, but I will tell you this. So it was, I had gone to my hometown during Durga Puja. It was in the month of October, if I'm not wrong. October Durga Puja went good. It was I enjoyed fun and everything. Then it was just Diwali. So I didn't come back to Bangalore because there's no work. Why do you have to come back? Diwali people get bonus. I got a phone call from Shubhai and Bagh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And his call was like, "What's up?" Early in the morning. And then you tell me what it is. Is it unpaid leave? What? Are you throwing me out of the company? You tell me now. Then he's like, "Yeah, there's going to be an unpaid leave and all of
Okay.
these things." And it started unpaid leave, and I didn't know whether to chill, whether to relax, whether to be tensed to go back to Bangalore.
Yeah.
I was clueless.
Yeah.
So yeah, then he did tell me that you start looking out for options if things are not bettering, or if things are not improving
Yeah.
here and there. So it was good. Like I was hunting for jobs as well as I was trying to talk to the other people of SmartQ as well.
Yeah.
कहीं से कुछ हो सकता है कि नहीं and
Correct,
all.
correct.
So
So that followed up with another call
yes,
from Keshav.
yeah. So November went by, and then it was 19th of November. It was Men's Day. So how can WhatsApp statuses get you jobs?
Jobs, yeah. We'd love to throw some light on this WhatsApp status message. And that's the message that Keshav saw and called you. Is that how it worked out?
Kind of. So there was Men's Day on 19th of November, and I like to write. So I had written one paragraph about Men's Day, and I sent it out to all the male contacts of my phone, and to SmartQ people, to my friends and the ex-colleagues and all. And everybody were happy, like, oh, God, this girl remembers Men's Day. She's wishing also to all the men. And then there was a message from Keshav that this is a really nice stuff. Keep writing.
Yeah.
I was like, हाँ ठीक है, happy and all. After 2-3 weeks, I came back to Bangalore. You have to do something now. You have to either get serious or else you have to move here and there. Figure something out. Then I get a message from Keshav that if you are interested to be if you are interested to write, and if you want to be a part of the content writing team, the digital marketing team, do let me know. Bhaskar might reach out to you. And then after...
So that resulted in a third call from Bhaskar.
Yeah, so no, first there was a message that message from Keshav.
Okay.
Yeah, then Keshav had called. So we are planning to have a content writer in the team. You write well. I keep seeing your WhatsApp statuses, and you should write. We'll guide you and all of that. And then I asked him, "Paise milenge kya pura?" You said, "You start working. We'll talk about it later."
Yeah. Nice.
Then there was a third call from Bhaskar, wherein he explained me the entire thing, and then I started working as a content writer, and I was writing blogs for SmartQ. It started from around December 2020.
Got it.
So yeah.
That's amazing. That's like so crazy that when you get a call on Durga Puja where everything is supposed to be festive and happy, and then you end up getting a call that you don't expect, and that disturbs your train of thought, and you're not sure what next. And then a WhatsApp message speaking about International Men's Day kept you back with something you love doing and are very passionate about, which brings me to the third question. Those calls help you move into another department, which is the marketing department, and pursue your knack for creating stories.
Yes.
So can you tell us that conversation with Bhaskar, and what was aligned to you, and how did you perceive that to be? And did you really feel enthusiastic about taking that up? Not just from an angle of having a job, but also from pursuing a parallel passion till things pick up. So can you tell us about how that happened?
So I had been writing from a very young age. So something scribbling here and there, writing stories, poems, but never thought, like I had always written for myself, not for anybody.
Yeah.
And also I believe that not everybody can understand what you write, your chain of thoughts or emotions. True. People who write, they know it.
They know. Yeah.
So I used to write, and I used to keep it to myself in Google Notes, maybe, or in diaries and all. The call with Bhaskar, so he had called up to just, tell me about digital marketing, about content writing, the kind of content that corporate employees like, or the readers, because you write a book, people will read it, but on the internet, people don't have that time to, spend 5 minutes to read your blog. Hardly 2-3 people might.
Correct.
So, Bhaskar started telling me about a lot of words which I didn't know back then. I didn't know what an SOE was. Search engine SEO,
Optimize SEO,
search engine optimization. I
Right.
didn't know what it was. I didn't know how the tone of the writing is also important.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the corporate employees like a lighter tone, and there are so many things. What kind of writing the young age crowd like, and the admins like. I was zero. I was zero
Got it.
about it.
Yeah.
And it was Bhaskar who had actually, trained me, helped me, suggested me, guided me, mentored me completely, so that, I can take a session on it right now.
Oh,
So, yeah,
Incredible.
I did know to write,
Yeah.
but then I didn't know how to write it.
Yeah. So basically, you are always a storyteller from childhood.
Yes.
But not adept enough to write about, say, SmartQ as a brand to an audience that wants content different from what you write about.
Yes.
So you had to go through that journey of picking that skill set.
Yes.
And toning down or scripting the content that leverages SmartQ in the public eye of the corporate institutional space.
Yes.
So that's what happened in that journey,
Yeah.
and you started creating content
Yes.
for SmartQ from that.
So every day in the morning, like after the first day, the call with Bhaskar that had happened in the evening, I was so excited, and like, you have to write. Okay, again, you're back to work, and I don't like sitting idle. Like,
Yeah.
I hate sitting idle
Yeah.
and not doing any work.
Yeah.
So that day, I don't know whether Bhaskar remembers it or not, but that conversation, I was on that first call itself, I was telling Bhaskar, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. Okay, I'll give you this idea, I'll give you that idea. She said, okay, fine, you relax. It's just a first call that
Correct.
you're having. And every morning I used to get up. Most of the mornings started with links shared by Bhaskar. Go through this, go through that. It will help you. It will suggest you. This person's quote you should read. That person you should see the video, how
Yeah,
he's writing,
yeah.
and so on and so on.
But let me tell you something about where you spoke to Bhaskar about let's do this, let's do that, let's do this is actually such a critical skill set of a marketer, because a lot of our role is transferring enthusiasm or energy to the person we're talking to. So I guess that they saw that natural fit where you were able to transfer that enthusiasm, but just structure that content more in a narrative that appeals with SmartQ's TG.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant.
So this was a common feedback that I had got from Bhaskar plus Keshav, that I write what I think.
Yeah.
And it's always in a very simple tone, simple language, and it's not much heavy, Shashi Shashi Tharoor type of words, not of those things, but it's
Nice.
simple, it's nice, and yeah, it's
Amazing.
understandable and people can relate.
Yeah, the essence of what you're trying to say is very easily deduced through your writing,
Yes.
is what I feel as well.
Yes.
So amazing, that's a brilliant story so far, which brings me to the fourth question. After lockdown went out and business started picking up, obviously you came back into the realm of the food business.
Yes.
So in these 3 years, you've handled multiple roles at SmartQ. So can you walk us through your experience of starting off as a relationship manager in the food operations to now currently being the senior vendor manager, working with large-scale corporate events and having all of that experience with the marketing team as well? So how has it been these 3 years?
It was this entire journey. There was like, I had already worked in 4 kind of departments,
Yeah.
starting from operations, then in digital marketing. Then I was also, the team realized that I have good negotiation skills, and I can get better prices from the vendors, and so that's when I shifted from operations, and I was
Yeah.
also working for supply. So
Okay.
you have to talk to the vendors, you have to get their
Got
prices.
it.
I was good with menu makings and all of that. So I started working for supply as well. And it started in 2021, January. With supply, onboarding vendors and talking to them. And here and there, small events were coming up.
Got it.
And that was also very, like, in supply, I had built a lot of connections with the vendor base, just not the local vendors, but also brands, be it Truffles, be it Socials, Gillies, definitely
Yeah.
it's there. Then California Burrito,
Yeah.
Fresh Menu, Creamstone, Milano, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
These are the few to be named.
Right.
Then with this hardcore supply going on, and a few here and there events were also coming up from the clients end,
Got it.
because a lot of companies started opening up, and admins felt that there should be something interesting or engaging
Got
at the
it.
cafeteria for
To
the
drive return to
employees.
work
Yeah.
and stuff.
So we just took it, like the events that had come, we just took it. Like we were doing, हाँ ठीक है चलो
हाँ.
event आया कर लिया and all
Yeah,
of that.
yeah.
Nobody took it
Yeah,
very seriously कि
yeah.
it has to be given a
Yeah,
thought and all.
yeah.
And organizing, like my friends also like tell me that I am a very good host. So being a very good host, you know, like managing from end to end, executioning and all of that. So that probably helped as a bonus. And I started taking the events seriously around in the month of say June, July, like that. Companies were opening up vastly.
Yeah.
And a lot of event orders were coming up. Then there was August, and by September, crazy events started coming. And that's when the team realized that there should be a vertical which should be completely, you know, dedicated and only to events, where it shouldn't get mixed up with the regular operations, and there should be a separate team who can handle all of these
Got
things.
it.
So that's when the events vertical unofficially started, and we started developing, we started building the team. People from operations, we took help from them, from marketing. So it was
Yeah.
a shared team kind of a work that was
Got it.
going on. And from October onwards, we started pacing up. We did crazy events
Yeah.
across Bangalore and also pan India as well. Then November, December, and this is the 4th month running.
Yeah.
And
With a lot of festivals around in the last
amazing,
end
yeah.
quarter. There's so
Diwali
many,
was there,
yeah.
Christmas was there, then
Dasara.
Dasara was there, and then again in January we are having a lot of Christmas, New Year plus Sankranti
Got
events going on.
Yeah.
So
Wow, that's
it's been really nice.
Yeah.
And I did take up this events verticals responsibility because somewhere I felt that this is my forte.
Yeah. So when you were told about this events related, like it's going to be a separate thing, you plunged at it, I guess, because you found that, oh wow, this is my domain and my area.
So in events, you know, it's always, you get to meet a lot of people, you get to talk, you get to do fancy things on events. And yeah, this probably is something that I had always enjoyed, talking to people, meeting people, executing things,
Yeah.
being a good host, keeping the menu, arranging for the entire setup and how it is going to be, then directing people, ye karo, wo karo, and all of that. So
That gives you a solid dopamine release.
Yes.
But that brings me to reiterate that how at SmartQ, you have the opportunity to explore, evolve and emerge across domains and departments, which Varsha epitomizes as an individual, because when she came in for a specific role, that role got blocked out because of COVID. But that didn't stop the company from enabling her to explore another department, which was the marketing department. And that conversation opened up with co-founder Keshav, who saw the ability from a WhatsApp message. So nothing is missed here. When you show you have a skill or talent, it is a welcome addition for people to realize and give you that opportunity to emerge in that department. And speaking of emerging, she has emerged, taking up the events vertical and scaling it to heights. From what started out as an idea for events has become a department in itself. So congratulations on that
Thank you
big
so
scale.
much, Zakki.
And speaking of events as a prompt, we would love to know your work closely in curating these corporate events and so many festivals. So during these events, you said you get to speak to people, network with people, both at SmartQ, both at the event space. Can you tell us or mention some very eventful memories, I would say eventful memories, that you have associated with SmartQ while doing these events? And you could also touch upon any other eventful memory that is non-event related, but eventful in its nature.
Okay. So there is this one event that was really fascinating. So should I take the name of the company as well?
Yeah.
So we were doing an event at Puma. The admin had called us up for a meeting. Me and Shabir, we both of us had went for the first meeting. And the idea that had come from the client's end, the first cut idea. So it was, he had wanted certain brands to be placed, but it was not working out probably. And after the meeting, we understood that there is something more to what he wants, but his idea is getting restricted, maybe because of budget or maybe because of guidance on how an event has to be done. So me and Shabir, we went and we upselled.
Oh, okay.
And we told him, okay, chalo, you don't do this. We are telling you this is the thing that you can do it. And we had had a Diwali event over there with one of my favorite brands, Gillies again, and we had done, live music, and there was starters running from 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock onwards till late night, and people had food, people enjoyed like crazy, and the excitement that was there, and the people after eating the food and seeing the arrangement that they tell ki हाँ ठीक है. This is something that I always validate it from people ki, is it okay? Is it fine? You tell me, like maybe once, twice, thrice I might ask. So this validation that you get from people about the entire event going well and smooth, this is something I really take as a feedback, you can say, or maybe as an appreciation, you can
and this
say.
happened at the Puma event.
Yes,
people were like,
yes.
this was nice,
Yes.
this was good. And that touched a chord.
Yeah.
Touched a,
and then again, we've been doing a lot of events for Accenture. Accenture has crazy events. So Vijay, you know Vijay, right? So Vijay, when we do regular operations at Accenture, me and Vijay, we fight a lot. You have to do this, Varsha, she tells me over the phone. No, I'm not doing it. You have to do this. No, I'm not doing it.
Crazy.
So when it comes to during the event part, and the event really goes well, where the top level management people of Accenture attending the event, seeing the entire setup and enjoying the experience, having the food. The message that comes from Vijay on the group, Varsha, the event was really good.
Yeah.
Soma sir had appreciated, or some XYZ senior management top level people really liked it. This is what I really, I call up Vijay. I said, how was it? I did read the message when I call up Vijay.
One
and
more
Vijay,
round
how
of
was it?
dopamine release on. Let's hear it verbally.
Vijay, how was it? It was amazing. Yeah, this is like you did it.
Nice.
So yeah.
You just spoke about Vijay, and I'm sure there are a lot of other people you worked with at SmartQ. So many teams, so many departments.
Yes.
Beyond the fighting and beyond the clutter of discussions, tell us about your experience working with the people of SmartQ. You could even touch upon some key relationships you've built, because I know there are a lot of them, and you see this as a second home.
Yes.
Which means there are a lot of family members in this home. So you could touch upon these relationships beyond work and beyond the hustle or the fights, which obviously adds that flavor of a family. So tell us about those.
You have names with you?
I have names in my head, not on this, but I'm sure you have a lot of names to spill out.
Yeah. So when I say that, SmartQ has, all the episodes, most of the episodes, people have had said that SmartQ is a family, SmartQ is a family. It's not a workplace. Yeah. It doesn't feel like a workplace and all. Definitely agree to it. But then again, when I say that SmartQ is a family, I somewhere feel that I have, I stay out of my hometown, away from my parents. I stay over here. The network that I build over here, the people that I hang out or chill with or go around, talk to, are the next to my family members, I can say. Amazing relationships that I've had in SmartQ with people. A lot of friendships that I've had in SmartQ, mentors, guides. Yeah, definitely Shubhayan. He's one of the closest person that in SmartQ for me. So he's taught me a lot, Shubhayan. And Nivedan, I can talk about Nivedan. So Nivedan is that kind of a person who pacifies me at any point of time. There is an event, there's a very big event. I generally don't get sleeps during just a day.
Before.
If there's a big event, I don't get sleep at night. And I'll be like 3 o'clock in the night, Nivedan, there's this big event. I know I'm going to screw it up. I don't know. I'm not doing good at work. I might, lose it. Yesterday, I'm losing myself, blah, 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 blah. I'll write it. And morning, say 7:30, wherever Nivedan is, he'll make it sure that he gives me a call. He'll pacify me. He'll tell me, you're doing a great job. You don't worry. Whatever it is, let it be. Now, whatever you have done, whatever was there in your hand, you did it. Now, just leave it off. You can't do more of damage control right now.
You've done what's in your control. What's not in your control is not in your control. Yeah,
so,
true.
Nivedan, definitely the way he talks, there's so much of pressure on him. There's so much of tension. I probably have 20% of the pressure that's there on him. But still, he's so calm. He's so silent, and I have hardly heard him scream or shout. And also, the way he talks and the calmness and the poiseness is something which I am still learning from him. Shubhayan is like, I have a very, you know, not a fighting kind of a relationship, but then again, if he tells me something, I think that he's always telling me because I'd always lacked guidance, proper guidance in my life with regards to profession, what to do, what not to do, and all of that. So he was the person who's telling me, you do this, you'll achieve this, you do that, you'll achieve that. So he's always shown me
Got it.
ways. Yeah.
So you had like two pillars of support, Shubhayan on a mentorship direction basis and Nivedan as your go-to buddy when you are like feeling like
Forever.
I've hit the roof now and I have no idea what to do. And then Nivedan comes back with his calmness and his coolness and says, relax, you've already done a lot
Yeah.
and we'll see how it goes. So that's a great balance and support system.
Rakesh also, I mentioned about Rakesh. So he's taught me the mantra of life. I believe that there are a lot of people who already know that
Yeah.
Namyoho Renge Kyo.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was very low points in my life and I didn't know what to do professionally. Also, I was a little down. Personally, also, I was a little, not in good
Yeah.
shape and stuff. So you have to talk to somebody and you just can't randomly go and talk to anybody. When you need that you are not able to take control of your life, you go to a person who can, give suggestions.
True.
So I somewhere thought that, he's like the father figure.
Mm.
So I went and I told him that I really need help because I'm not able to align my life properly, be it professionally, be it personally. You please help me, you guide me what to do and how to do it. So yeah, he had definitely been help. He's given me this Namyoho Renge Kyo's mantra and I do it and
Yeah, and then everything seems to just fade away from your brain, all the thoughts.
yeah, it's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process. I've been doing it from a very long time now, maybe more than 6-7 months. I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's a common element of a lot of people who join SmartQ and wanted that guidance and that growth
Yes.
plan. And Rakesh,
He always has a solution
been
for
that.
everything.
Yeah, many people have said that Rakesh, and then obviously the other co-founders as well have their own energy to offer
Yes.
or solutions to give, and people need that guidance.
Yes.
So that echoes a lot about the character of our leadership team, who basically see us as humans first and then employees next.
Yes.
perhaps. And that human element is where the family element, I guess, comes into
Exactly.
play.
And
So yeah.
apart
go ahead.
from this also, then there are like other people also, like we are good buddies, we're good friends. Nikhil is there, then Ravindra is there, and Bhaskar, definitely I've already told about Bhaskar.
Yeah.
Manju is there. So yeah,
Absolutely. Any more names?
I have to think actually.
Okay,
Like
okay.
if I
No,
start
but,
speaking,
yeah.
I'll talk and talk and talk.
But those names and those anecdotes have given enough incentive to this question in terms of us understanding that how people are there for you and these relationships are very strong and can always be backed up when you need them the most.
Yes.
So that basic essence is what we wanted to hear from you. And on that note, we have reached the end of the first segment of Meeting with Zakki. You have given us some fabulous insights, stories that mean a lot to you and
Yes.
have obviously come through in your answers. And on the chant that Rakesh always says, Namyoho Renge Kyo, has been a mantra for many of us here to keep calm and keep it real, and people echo that across teams. So, speaking of which, we will see how Namyoho Renge Kyo works out for Varsha in the Ask Me Anything round. And because that's where you have to stay the calmest and coolest and see if you can battle the questions that are being curated by the friends and names and the families she mentioned in the first segment.
Oh.
So, on that note, we end the first segment. Thank you very much, Varsha, for those fabulous answers. A round of applause for her success and her growth at SmartQ.
Thank you.
Continuing my conversation with Varsha Karmakar, the first segment was an excellent insight into her journey at SmartQ so far. But now we are at segment number 2 called Ask Me Anything, where we'll test her with 14 questions prepared by her close-knit community at SmartQ. And what is even better is that we'll put her Namyoho Renge Kyo chanting, which she's been doing over the past 6 to 7 months, to test and see if she stands the test of time and her mettle is good enough to answer these questions in 30 seconds. So Varsha, are you ready to take on the challenge of 14 questions?
Yeah, sure.
These answers have to be rapid, quick, fast, and I think your strength, because you say whatever comes to your head. So this should be a round you kill it and ace it in. So are you ready to get started?
Definitely depends upon the questions.
Amazing. So 14 questions in the quickest way possible. Question number 1. What would it be if you could have any job in the world?
Any job in the world?
Any job in the world.
Writer.
Right. What is the weirdest thing that you've ever eaten?
Weirdest thing that ever eaten.
Come on, Varsha, quicker.
No, I did have a pork quiche.
Sorry?
A pork quiche.
A pork quiche, which was.
But it's not weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
But something that is new that you probably.
Yeah.
We've heard that you're a great cook. So tell us about some of the dishes that you like to cook whenever you have the time. Like the top 3 dishes you love to cook.
Mutton, prawns, and fish, doi mach.
Okay. In hierarchy of the favorite meat that I like, it's the same order: mutton, prawns, and fish, and then chicken. So there's another common overlap. So you love to explore places, food places is what you and I spoke.
Yeah.
So what are the some of favorite food destinations that you would like to explore, have explored, or would like to talk about? Top 3.
One is definitely this Meghna biryani. Like in Bangalore, there are only specific places that I have biryani. This is Meghna biryani. You're talking about Bangalore, by the way?
No, and you've traveled across for events, done, so it could be across.
So this Esplanade is there in Indranagar. They have fish kobi raji, which is a fish and deep fried with egg batter, and it's a very rich dish. So definitely that one. Then Kunafa World's cream cheese kunafa, and Meghna biryani again.
So Kunafa and Meghna in Bangalore, and the other one in?
It's in Esplanade. It's in Bangalore, only, Indranagar. So I only talked about.
Okay.
This place, yeah.
So Aisha and Oindala, we've got the next foodies of SmartQ already ready. So we can have that in our next place. So moving on to question number 5. What are some of the things, core important things that you would love to accomplish in life?
Any 3?
Yeah, three works.
I already have one dog. I need to get another dog.
Okay.
So then again, I want to, I'm not sure what should I say about it. 3 things. Okay, I want to take out a book of my own by the age of 45, maybe 40,
write your
45.
own book.
Yeah,
Wow.
write an own book, and visit France at least once in my lifetime.
Nice. So I'm sure the own book of within 45 could happen much sooner with an amount of stories that you have naturally coming in. And France, hopefully one day,
Yeah.
your wish will be granted. Do you have any funny stories, like really funny incidents or stories to share about your co-workers?
About my co-workers. Do you have any names? Anything as
Let's
such?
take Shubayan, since Shubayan has graced the set of Green Tea with Zakki for the first time, and we all know his busy schedule, so let's put him on the spot and see if you could tell us a funny story about Shubayan.
Funny story about Shubhayan. Okay, so there was one incident that had happened. It was a holiday, Karnataka Rajyotsav. It was there, and it's a very pain to bring me to office. Like I used to like to come to office like 2 to 3 days a week, not much. And he was like, you have to come to, because he always believes in coming to office, talking to people, meeting, and having the discussion done, and conclusion ho gaya. So, nahi, I'll not go. So, there was this Karnataka Rajyotsav, and there were hardly 5-6 people who were coming to the office, and he calls me, you have to come to office. And then the week has been very stressing, I don't want to come to office. You have to come. No, I'm not coming. I'm not going to negotiate with you any further, okay? You have to come. So, this is one, not funny, but yeah.
But engaging conversation.
Yeah.
And in the end, did you come out of the office?
I did. I had no other choice.
So, Shubayan won that conversation. Okay. So, 7th question. What, according to you, is the best way to deal with a difficult co-worker?
Difficult co-worker. Okay. You don't argue with that person. You listen whatever the person has to say, because I've done that a lot. The samne wala is telling something, and then you also say it, and then it goes on.
So you mean agree to disagree?
You don't react. You just listen, and then you come, and then you talk this out to another person and get a solution if you are not able to get the solution over there.
So you've had a lot of these instances?
A lot.
And the person who solves it for you is Shubayan and Nivedan, Rakesh?
Yeah.
Or they might be the time sometimes you're arguing with them on the...
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 8. What's your favorite office prank or the most funniest office prank that's happened? Either on you or you've done it on somebody else.
Office prank. No, I'm a good girl. I don't.
So there's
No.
If you had a superpower, what
Okay.
would that be?
Vanish some people.
Oh, okay, cool. I wouldn't ask you the names of
Please
the people
don't.
because that would cause controversy.
Controversy.
But unlike Coffee Karan, I don't look out for conjecture. We let the person pass sometime and give that empathy of let's not have names. Cool. What doesn't get you an adrenaline rush?
What? Sorry?
Doesn't get you an adrenaline rush.
Doesn't get me an adrenaline rush. When I see people with, they do not have that energy that has to be there in the morning, like, ha, theek hai. That is something that really, morning, or maybe if there is a new project coming up, you should always be excited while even you're talking about it. Somebody who's like very silent and not very active while talking about it, if it doesn't show in the conversation that he's having, so it really doesn't give
That's
me.
a good one.
That doesn't give me that kick.
You need that.
So you have to be convinced yourself to convince others.
Correct.
So yeah.
Cool. Question number 11. Interesting question. How would you rate your journey at SmartQ on a scale of 1 to 10 and the reason behind the score? And appraisal season is around the corner as well.
Should I just come?
No, but genuinely would love to know the real authentic score that you would give. And
I would rate myself 7.
not the journey,
Okay,
the journey, at SmartQ.
The journey that I've had is 7 definitely, because there's a lot more that I need to learn. Whenever there's a conversation happening for any new discussion or any new meeting, it's always like there are some things that I figure out in every meeting that I don't know this. I have to learn this. So yeah, 7, because I've learned a lot from what I was, and then again,
But there's a lot more to
there's a lot more to it.
Cool. From all these tricky questions or these fast questions, we've landed at an emotional question, perhaps, if you will. Parental relationships have always been complicated in our country.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you got back the man by your side after a hell lot of turmoil you loved and admired from your childhood? Is the question.
Okay. So, there was a time in my life where me and my dad had a lot of disagreements. We both didn't agree on a lot of things. There was a time when we didn't speak for a very long time. And then, with time things improved, and the biggest strength that my father is my biggest strength. I can do without any person in this world, but not my father. So, the gap that I had, it again, I got back the biggest confidence in my life. That's my dad. So he's like the roof.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to put it. We all have these different wavelengths with our parents, but at the end of the day, we do know that they are our strengths. And do you have any suggestions for the Gen Zs pertaining to this question?
Please do spend at least a little bit of time with the people who are there in your life, who are important to you, because time is the most precious gift that you can ever give to anybody. It's gone today, it's gone forever.
Right.
So
very well put. The content writer in you is flowing effortlessly. So no surprises there. Cool. So 13th question. If there's one thing you would want to change in SmartQ and not individually contribute towards it, that change, what would it be?
One thing that I would want to change in SmartQ. Maybe there should be a little bit more of, not meetings, but get around sessions happening with people, because there are a lot of people who are joining and they are on field, and the people who are there at office, they do not know. So there's a communication gap that sometimes happens, because people who are there on field and people who are sitting at the office, they do not know how it is hard on the field, and they do not know what pressure we have to deal with in the office, people who are sitting in front of the computer. So there should be more sessions, there should be more engaging sessions for building or bridging that gap between these two extreme people, and maybe that can help. I am talking again about the operations.
Got it.
You know,
Yeah.
from the point of view.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people on ground and in
Yes.
office, so there's obviously room for communication issues.
Yes.
That could translate
Everything
into.
doesn't,
Yeah.
you know, and WhatsApp messages are the worst way of communication, I tell you.
Yeah.
So,
So having more in-person meetings.
yeah, in-person
to-
meeting sessions, then to feel at home that okay, theek hai, chalo, whatever problems are there, instead of just, you know, putting it in the group or writing it over a mail, you talk it out in
Yeah.
front. Talking solves.
Like
So
more
you
of
need-
those Thursday meetings which you spoke
Yeah,
about on your LinkedIn post.
Yes.
Okay, and this brings me to the 14th question of the second segment, the last and final question.
Okay.
What is the best or worst pickup line that you've ever heard from and who? Heard of and from whom?
Best and the worst pickup line.
So I'm guessing by that laughter there are a lot of pickup lines and a lot of people. So
No, nothing like that. Okay, the best pickup line. There are a lot of best pickup lines that has happened. Like, okay, you know, I want to take the. Like I want to build in myself the coffee taste that you're having.
Oh
So
man. Okay.
this is because I'm a lover of coffee. So that is one, and the worst.
And did that work on you?
Maybe,
Did that translate into a coffee date with that person?
maybe.
Okay.
Okay, and the worst pickup line. Okay, so whenever there's a call or anything, like any with any random person, I don't want to name the person. So there was this call happening, and I had asked, "Kahan pe ho?" And the reply that had come was, "Tumhare dil mein."
Wow. Okay.
So this is the worst pickup line that can ever come up.
Crazy. Okay, I'm sure that didn't translate into any meeting
No,
or thing.
never.
Cool.
That
So,
can't.
Yeah. So on that note, we finished the 14 questions,
Okay.
and you've been quite rapid on most of them and great answers. And speaking of pickup lines, the third segment is going to be all about pickup lines, and it's called Fruit Punch, which we are eager to learn from both Varsha and my perspective to what pickup lines and on what objects do we have to make these pickup lines, because apparently it has been decided by the organizing group for this episode that we both are good with coming up with content related pickup lines. So let's see if we are able to achieve that on the third and final segment called Fruit Punch.
Sure.
Awesome. Continuing my conversation with Varsha Karmakar, we have finally reached the third and most awaited segment where our content writing abilities will be put to the test in terms of arriving at pickup lines for the fruits placed on this table. The world believes that we can really do it, but let's hope that you and I can first agree on the fruit that we want to talk about and then come up with a pickup line for it. But before we start, let me just read through the rules of the game and
Okay.
let's see if you have any questions to ask each other, because it's new segment to me as well. Cool. So, the name of the game is called Fruit Punch.
Okay.
We have to choose any one fruit from the plate. So we'll have to, there are two fruits on each plate. We'll have to choose any one and decide that we want to go with this fruit.
Okay.
Second is that we'll have to pick a scenario and we have to use that scenario and take 30 seconds time to come up with a pickup line for that scenario.
Oh my god.
So that sounds quite challenging. I hope
Okay.
we can do it. So Manu's got the timer on.
Okay.
So how we're going to do it is, I will first reveal the fruits, then we'll decide on a fruit, and then
Okay.
you go first with a pickup line. Okay, so cool. We're ready
So the
to.
fruit's name also has to be there in the how is it?
Yeah, I guess the fruit's name or some wordplay on the fruit name could be the
Okay.
way out
Okay.
of this. Cool. So let's get started. I'm going to pick up and see what the first fruit is. Okay.
Whatever.
So there's a watermelon and there's a chiku. And let's first decide which fruit do we want to work with. And then I'll go to the scenario.
Watermelon.
Watermelon. I'm chiku? How
maybe
about
chiku.
chiku?
Yeah, maybe
okay,
chiku.
we'll go chiku.
Chiku,
Okay,
chiku.
so we've decided to go between watermelon and chiku. We both have kind of agreed to go with chiku. And now let's see what the scenario is. And I hope that scenario is easy enough to work around with the fruit like chiku. Cool. So first scenario is, ask out your colleague with a pickup line using chiku as a fruit.
Okay.
So Varsha, Are you
So I
ready?
have to go and ask?
No, you don't have to go and ask.
Okay.
You could sit there and come up with a pickup line for a colleague using Chiku as the fruit to work with for that pickup line. So shall we have the timer ready? 30 seconds on the clock.
Can I just frame it in my mind? Like,
Okay.
okay.
Cool. So you can take 30 seconds to frame it
Okay.
and then come up with the line. You can take all 30 seconds to decide on that line and then tell it to us. So Manu, you can go ahead and put 30 seconds on the clock. So we have 30 seconds. So both of us have 30 seconds. So I thought I'll have 30 seconds later, but okay, I also have 30
Okay.
seconds now. So I also have to start thinking.
Oh God.
Do you have a pickup line ready?
No.
Okay.
Chiku shake.
Neither do I, but I'll just go with something. So the fruit we chose is Chiku. So I would just go up to that colleague, imaginary colleague, and say, "Will you be my chick, please?" Maybe, or I mean, just see if that chick and Chiku connecting it there. So I think I would do that.
Okay.
What is yours?
Okay, maybe I'll go up to the colleague and tell him ki let's go and have go and have a fruit shake or fruit punch probably.
Okay. Anything to do with Chiku in that?
Yeah.
Any word of?
बच्चे के नाम चीकू रख देंगे.
Oh, okay. So I would say the actual pickup line of Varsha was "बच्चे का नाम चीकू रख देंगे." That was direct, going full throttle on the pickup line. Just took off, like going with her personality of saying whatever comes to head. Even the pickup line did justice to that. Cool. So we'll move to the second fruit or the second reveal. So they are grapes and pineapple. Manu, you can have 30 seconds on the clock till we can start thinking. And just before that, sorry, can you pause? Oh yeah, which one do we choose? Yeah, so which one do we choose, Varsha? Pineapple or the grapes?
Grapes.
Grapes. I think we've decided, not think. We
Grapes,
have decided
grapes.
that we'll go with grapes. And the scenario number 2 is approaching your HR or manager for your appraisal. So yeah, we can have 30 seconds on the clock and we can take the time to think. Cool. So do you have a pickup line ready? I mean, sorry,
a pickup
approaching
line.
your HR manager or appraisal for your appraisal.
Yeah, maybe. So I can go up to my HR, not HR, I can go to the manager and I can tell him that कि 5 पेटी अंगूर दे देना and don't give it in small, don't go by the size, you give it more to me in bunch or in crates maybe.
That you had you could do so you
Okay. So that's
That's
line.
all.
Okay, awesome. Well done. Well
Don't
done.
go by
Round
the
of applause.
size of the appraisal percentage or whatever.
Nice. Cool. So my line would probably be, so I would go up to the manager and say, my performance has been as sweet as these grapes. Therefore, you should give me an appraisal as big as this pineapple, which is
Oh, nice.
cool. So that's done with this now. Let's move on to the next. So cool. So we have a muskmelon, I guess, and the green thing is a guava. Guava. So we have a guava and muskmelon. So which one do we want to work with?
You choose.
I choose. So papaya. I mean, musk, sorry,
Muskmelon.
muskmelon. Muskmelon is fine. Cool. And the scenario is pitch to sell one of the fruits in the most unique way possible. So we'll have to pitch.
Okay.
So we'll have to pitch this muskmelon in the most unique way possible. That is the line that we'll have to come up with, or the pitch.
Okay.
Sounds good? Okay, so Manu, please can we have 30 seconds on the clock? All right. Do you have a pitch ready?
With a muskmelon, how to sell a muskmelon?
How to sell a muskmelon? Cool. So the pitch can be assuming to a corporate selling this fruit bowl or something. You want to give it a try? You have something.
No. Maybe.
1 week later.
Cool, I'll give it a try. It's very hard, this one, but assuming I'm pitching to a client about why they should have this muskmelon in their cafeteria versus other fruits, I would just say the melons will bring all the employees back to the yard at the corporate, at the cafeteria. So the melons and it'll be all musk and it'll be all musk and melancholic from there on. That's why you should never use complicated words when you can't pronounce them. But yeah, that's my pitch.
Okay. Why should they have? Why should they buy muskmelon? Maybe, or include muskmelon. I can go and tell them that. Okay. You buy it from me because my sales pitch is soft
Oh, okay.
and maybe sweet, just like the muskmelon.
Okay.
So that the offers that I get you or the prices that I get you comes like one stone and two birds. Maybe that's how it can be. I don't know.
Okay.
अरे कहना क्या चाहते हो?
Yeah, this one got both of us, but we managed to say something. So we have the last and final, which is a papaya and an apple. And the scenario is write a 3-line poem or shairi on your favorite person at SmartQ, 40 seconds. Okay, we have 40 seconds to think of this.
Oh,
Okay, so Manu, you can have 40 seconds on the clock.
either of the we didn't select the fruits.
Oh, we didn't select the fruit, so okay. So what are we going with? You understood the rules way better than me. That's good. So apple.
Apple,
Okay, apple.
apple,
Apple.
or papaya.
I think apple.
Papaya would be better, no? I can. Okay, shairi
Apple is better, I feel.
apple. Okay.
Apple. Cool. So we've selected apple. You can start the timer now.
We have to say a shairi or
Shairi or a poem for your favorite person at SmartQ.
my favorite person at SmartQ.
Cool. Somewhat there. Let's see if it comes. Are you ready?
Yeah, I can.
Cool. You can go.
Not shairi, but yeah, 2 lines probably. Okay, whenever there is any event or any requirement coming in, and we have a core team discussion, it's dedicated to them basically. Keshav, Hardik, Shubhayan, Tripathi, Nivedan, Ravindra, Sameer, and all of them. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. An apple a day keeps the daughter away. Requirement समझ के PNL बना ले बना ले बना ले.
Nice. That was amazing. That was quick and 2 lines that hit the spot, I guess. You also communicated a lot more with that poem that I think would take attention of the people. Cool. So mine, I would go with Paul, for example, but the marketing team as whole. So you are the apple of my eye. You always tell me hi. Even on days when you're tired, you always make me smile. Okay, that's it. Yeah, she's gonna kill me because I never came up with a line for her and so so this can be cut. Cool. So on that note, Varsha, it's been amazing having you on the set and all the answers in Ask Me Anything, and even in this particular round, you came up with lines so flawlessly and easily, which clearly shows that why you were called on at the need of the hour to take up the content responsibility when there was a role available, and it gives me great pleasure to hand over this this hamper to you to congratulate you for your
much.
successful 3 years at Smart.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can have this.
Good gifts, huh?
Yeah. So, is the mic still there? So on that note, this brings us to the end of episode number 6 with Varsha Karmakar. It was a great conversation and your answers were very, very seamless, and it was wonderful having you again. Thank you for taking time out. I know you're very busy and going to Bombay soon after this. So it means a lot to us, and it shows us and encourages us to keep having more guests like you on the set.
Thank you so much, Zakki. It was really fun and very overwhelming. And yay!
Awesome.
Finally
Great.
on green tea with Zakki.
Amazing. Great stuff. For us.